I try not to have a lot of hot takes. I try not to draw a lot of hard lines. I like to lay out the available options and let you, the very, very smart people of YouTube, decide what's best for you. I understand that's not how YouTube works. I'm supposed to have a hot take. I'm supposed to draw a hard line. And so here I am. I'm going to draw a hard line. If you are storing monetary values in MySQL, you should never, ever, ever use the float or the double. Don't use the float column. Don't use the double column. You should, I'm going to give you an option here. You should use the decimal column or maybe one of the integer columns. The reason is the float and the double columns are floating point. They are approximations. They're very good approximations, but they're not perfectly accurate. And when it comes to dealing with financial data, you want perfect accuracy. You don't want an approximation, no matter how good that approximation is. When you go to add up two numbers, you want the sum to be correct, not pretty correct. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to create a table here called money, and I'm going to create two columns, money 1 and money 2, and those are both going to be double. Remember, don't do this. This is the example of what can go wrong. So if I create this, that looks like it was created just fine. Now I'm going to insert some data. So I'm going to insert this data in there. Now, if we take a look at this, I'm inserting into money 1 and money 2, I'm inserting the value of 100.4 and negative 80, inserting that into column money 1. And I'm inserting 20.4 and 0 into money 2. If we run that and then we read it back, select star from money, if we take a look at that and we use our very powerful brains and we look at that and we say, I wonder what those rows sum to. Well, they would both sum to 20.4, right? So 100.4 less 80 is 20.4, and 20.4 plus 0 is 20.4. That makes sense to me. Is that what is going to happen? Let's find out together. We're going to select the sum of money 1 and the sum of money 2 from the table. Uh-oh, it didn't sum out to the same thing. It's very close.
I'm just talking about fractions of a penny here, okay?
So close, but they don't equal each other. Importantly, if we were to put the equal sign in there, MySQL says, nah, those aren't the same thing. And to be fair, it's correct. They're not the same thing. One is 20.4 plus a little bit, and one is 20.4. So this is what happens when you store monetary values in the wrong type of column. Let's run this entire thing back. Let's drop table money. So we're going to drop this table all together, and instead of doing doubles, what we're going to do is decimals. So we're going to do decimals, and with a decimal, you have to specify how big the column can be. So we're going to say it can be 10 digits wide, so it can hold a total of 10 digits, and of those 10 digits, we're going to allocate 2 of those digits to be after the decimal. So we're going to have 8 before the decimal and 2 after the decimal. So we're going to do that in both places. And if we run that, we've got a new table now. Now we've got some values. Let's read them back. It looks like the same values as before, but you do see we have that trailing 0 on both of them because we specified that there are 2 digits after the decimal place, right? Now, if we run our sum, look at that. It is perfectly exactly equal because the decimal column is not an approximation. It is an exact representation of the number that you put in, which is why you want to use it for monetary values. Because I am so allergic to hot takes and hard lines, I'm going to give you an option. I've shown you why, I hope, why you should use decimal over float or double. Because float and double are approximations and decimal is exact. There's another keyword in MySQL called numeric, which is just an alias for decimal, so you can use numeric if you want. That's not really the option I was going to give you. The option that I'm going to give you is you could use any of the integer type columns. So integer columns are exact representations, nothing approximate about it. So you could use a small int if it's really small, you could use a big int if it's really big. But what you could do is instead of storing a fractional currency, so let's say you're storing US dollars, instead of storing the dollars and the cents, what you would do is you would multiply it by 100 so that you're storing the cents only. Let's drop this table and we're going to recreate it with integers. So there are a whole bunch of different types of integers and they all vary based on the range of data that they can store. For this example, integer is just fine. Now, instead of inserting 100.4, we have to ensure that there are no fractional parts remaining. So what we're doing is we're taking it out of the denomination that it's in, and we're moving it into the lowest possible denomination so that there are no more fractional parts. In the case of the US dollar, that would be taking out of $100 and turning it into a number of cents. This is what Stripe does. Stripe will return all the transactions in the lowest possible denomination of a currency. And so this is a totally viable method. You just have a little bit of overhead, usually on the application side, not even in like a processing sense, just in literal mental overhead. You have to remember everything is stored in cents, not in fractional dollars. So what we would do here is every time we insert something, we would insert it times 100 such that we move that decimal place over 2 times. And then if we read it back, it looks the same, but a little bit different. So instead of saying there's $100.4 in here, what we're saying is there's 10,040 cents in here. Same thing, just different. Now, if we sum this up and read it back, you'll see that they're exactly the same because integers are exact. So there is absolutely no approximation going on with an integer. So we can sum up as many as we want and it will work exactly as we had hoped, just like it does with the decimals. So which one of these you choose is totally up to you. I can't bring myself to make the choice for you. I've never seen your application. I don't know what your data is doing. I have no idea what's going on. So I am allergic to telling you exactly what to do, but if it'll make you feel better, I will tell you kind of exactly what to do. Use a decimal or an integer. Don't use a float or a double. A float and double are approximations and they will get you in trouble when it comes time to add them up or do basically any math on them. Using a decimal or an integer are exact, and that is what you want when you're dealing with financial data. If you like this, we've got tons of videos at planetscale.com/MySQL. I teach an entire course on MySQL. If you don't want to go there, just stay tuned to this channel. We've got lots of MySQL videos here as well. See ya.